Mikel, what will it be like for you to go up against Pep Guardiola? What sort of influence has he been on you, both as a football coach and as a person?
Well, he was an influence for me since I was 15 years old, and we met in Barcelona, both as a player, and then obviously in my coaching career and in my personal life, he has an enormous influence. If I have to talk about the person who he is, his values, the way he's treated me, and how he deals with the players and the staff around him, it's phenomenal. And as a coach, yeah, I've learned so much from him. We spent some amazing moments together, some difficult ones as well. But the experience next to him has been incredible.
I'm sure there'll be a bit more on him later, but I just wanted to ask you about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as well. The comments that he says a decision to sign a new contract is the most important of his career. What have you said to him about committing to the long-term project that you've got at the club?
Well, I think it's our responsibility to make him feel that this is the right next step in his career. In order to do that, he needs to feel valued. I think he needs to feel that he belongs to us and we want him. And then he really needs to believe that we can take this club forward the way we want to do, and he's going to be a key player to do that. I think at the moment I'm extremely happy with how he's been performing and behaving. I think I've got a really good relationship with him when we can discuss face to face a lot of things. And so far as I'm aware, I think he's very happy at the club. Well, I think in a different context, we would have liked to do the things much quicker, but obviously we have been handled really tight with time and communication as well. And obviously these unprecedented times brings a lot of uncertainty. And these are getting clearer and clearer every day that we are a step closer to get back playing football, and we're going to move forward.
And of course, the big prize for the end of the season for Arsenal would be the qualifying for the Champions League. Do you think that's something that could help persuade Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to stay? And has there been any discussion about a new contract so far?
I think that will help to persuade anybody, but we are very lucky to have the club that we have right behind us, that a lot of players want to come and join us. But it's not about who do we want to attract as well, it's how happy the players that are here and how convinced they are that they are at the right place, and as well because it's our obligation almost to be fighting for every trophy and playing the Champions League with this club.
And just, sorry, on that final point, do you know if there's been any discussion about a new contract for him yet?
We have many discussions with Pierre, his family and his agent, and I'm pretty positive that we can find the right agreement for all parties.
And just a quick question on Eddie Nketiah, because before the suspension, he was scoring, really beginning to find his feet in this side. And of course, he scored twice against Charlton as well. How much will he be relying on him for these final games to help with the goal scoring load?
No, we treat Eddie as an important part of our squad. We had to make a very important decision not to let him go on loan again after the spell he had at Leeds. I watched him train and I was very convinced that he's the right player for us to move us into the next level, that he can contribute in a big way to the way we want to play, and he's been fantastic so far.
Do you believe that having an expanded bench and 5 substitutions we might see even more young players come through in the next 5 or 6 weeks?
I think it will happen, and I will as well. For example, in our case, we have 5 games in 15 days. That's a game every 3 days. We don't know how the players are going to respond physically because they have a really short preparation, and there are 100-minute games now, the way we're going to play. So, yeah, we have to use them. We will use them. We have some really talented young boys that they're asking for chances, and I'm sure all the clubs, the situation will be the same. And I think we'll be at some stage forced to use some of them with the amount of games that we're going to be playing in that sort of space of time.
It's been a 3-month break. Arsenal were unbeaten domestically before in 2020. Do you think this break will disrupt that progress, or do you think there's a benefit because you'll have players coming back fit, although other clubs will as well?
Well, I hope it doesn't. We've been working on that to try to maintain, or if we can obviously improve the level that we were playing before and improve the results as well. So yeah, there are some uncertainties that we don't know how we're going to respond to, but what I can tell you is that we have been doing as much as possible to try to get into this moment with the best possible chance.
With regards to this fixture against Man City, when you came into the Emirates for this reverse fixture in another role, and you sensed the down mood that you talked about that day and what you inherited, there was a remarkable upturn, and we saw you just narrowly lose to Chelsea in the first home game at the Emirates. To build onto that, we saw the results improving. And of course, with lockdown, that's taken an effect. How difficult will it be to try to get back into the groove that you're experiencing? And how have the players been up for this challenge?
Well, it's been a challenge for all of us. It's been a challenge since the day I joined this club because of the situation that we were in. But I think we made a lot of steps forwards, and we tried to change the energy that we had around the place, even our stadium, with the players, with the staff as well. And I was very positive in the way we were developing things. Obviously, we had a big turning point with the coronavirus and being 3 months away from each other. But we've been trying to keep going in our direction, closing the contact and communication with our players and our staff. And I think we are in a really good position to move forward. We have some uncertainties that we cannot control, and we don't know how the players are going to respond playing now every 3 days after 3 months. But most of the clubs are in the same position. We'll try to adapt, make the most out of it. Don't try to find any excuses and go for it and enjoy, because I think we're all missing football so much that we're all desperate to get back playing.
You denied a pre-season with Arsenal, of course. Is the time that you've had now a sort of a pre-season to try to get across your philosophy, or is that just doesn't come into the equation?
It wasn't exactly a pre-season, but because I didn't have the players for 6 weeks, but we tried to use everything we could. If you ask me what have you learned most, it probably has been using different ways of communicating. Using technology is one of them, and as well, from my side, it's hard to communicate with players and talk to them and try to get into them as well without touching them, without seeing them. So that's been a challenge, but we've been trying to do everything we could to help them to understand better what we are trying to do, to convince them that is the right way for them to enjoy their profession. And let's see if we've done a good job or not.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.